Good evening. Welcome to the investigator news. This is the weather and lifestyle news show. Well, I've been in court all day, so pardon me. Ugh, you know, you have to sit there and wait. So, yeah, I was in court. You have to wait till next show to find out what I was doing in court. It wasn't bad, just stuff. Stuff. Yeah. All right, boy. Earthquakes. I woke up this morning. Nepal had two, um, and Japan had one, and they were pretty severe. 6.0 and a 6.2. 6.3 is what I seen. So I'm gonna stick with the 6.3 before they altered it. So two really big earthquakes across the Pacific. Is it going to go up and around? Dutchson seems to think he's been saying the West Coast. So I don't know. Mother Nature just picks where she wants. So uh, I'm going to get with the weather and then we'll get right on to the earthquakes. Now, I did go and look at my other globe and it wasn't really much. No, I mean, I've seen it packed where I went, wow, you know, it wasn't that bad. So I didn't grab it. It just, it shows the rings, but there wasn't really that many. And I think these two were the biggest. And I could show you on mine as soon as I bring this up. So I'm going to get on with the weather. Boy, I got some rain coming. Poor New York is probably going to get hit again. Mother Nature is mad at New York or something. You see all that rain and the flooding and cars up to their wheels. Who drives it up to their wheels uh, in rain like that? I mean, that's just asking to lose your car. And I don't know how these EV cars make it through. And today in New York, one of them EV cars ran over somebody. I went and looked to see if maybe this person got out or not. I couldn't find anything else. Uh, so on with the weather.
A few things are on the way for the Northeast. There's going to be a front approaching from the west later Thursday, and that is going to slowly move on through. Showers are possible out ahead of that front heading into Friday, followed by the chance for showers and thunderstorms Friday night into Saturday. Now, depending on how things play out with the development of a cutoff low going into early next week, there may be some lake effect rain showers Sunday into Monday. Another thing to take a quick mental note on is to prepare for cooler temperatures, which are going to be very noticeable Sunday morning. While you're looking at these expected rain totals, just know that we'll continue to keep you updated.
And I'm going to get some, lots of it. They're saying close to 2 inches here on Sunday. So I'm going to even get some. Linda 4. Why are we Linda 4? Linda, you're like me. You get into YouTube, and YouTube, oh boy, forget it. I ain't even going to go into YouTube when they decide your password isn't working. Boy, all right. Boy, my hair's all because I did my hair this morning at 6. Was in court till noon. No power. I lost my power today for quite a few hours. I didn't even know if I was going to be able to do a show. So the latest earthquakes. Um, Let me fix this. I like it when it's the satellite image. Uh, Now, let's see. Uh, Japan just had another 5.2. So I'll show it to you. It is lit up in blue. So let's close this out. So Japan just had another one. And then guess what? Just now, Kodiak, Alaska, 2.5. Uh, Beluga, Alaska. I think that's how it's pronounced, 3.2. So the earthquakes are rolling right now. Just three and probably the last hour. So it's active. And then down around, let's see, Tonga 5.0. We had Huma in Tonga 4.5. The Kermadec Islands, that was only a 4. And Papua New Guinea, 5.7. And then we're moving over to now. This is what got me was we seen the one in Papua New Guinea, We seen the one in the Philippines of 5.1. Now it went up to the Philippines again with a 4.9, but then it split off on the side. Um, Let me get rid of that. Uh, on a side of it came right back up because I clicked on it. Oh boy, a 4.6. Then it went up to China, Saga, China 4.2. They had two of them on Nepal. Here's a 4.5. They're still having aftershocks. Um, um, 5.7 in the aftershocks. And then we had, oh boy, uh, Tajikistan. I'm sorry, these are horrible names. They had a 4.7. And then we go up above to the Coral Islands, 4.6. And then everything kind of went quiet. Everything's quiet. You go to Oregon, the coast of Oregon, 2.8. Tom's Place, California, 2.6. Um, Franklin, Arizona. Boy, where's Karen? Because I don't think we've ever had Franklin, Arizona, 3.2, and that was a surface quake. So they felt it. And then over to Rotan, Texas. I thought it was going to be White City, New Mexico. When I seen the where it was, I said, "Oh, that's going to be New Mexico." No, it was actually Rotan, Texas, and we don't see them there. And that was a point 0.4. That is just they felt that one. 3.3, they definitely felt that one. And then we're going to go down to Puerto Rico. That was a 2.7. Um, then off the coast of Central America, that was a 4.6. And then it got quiet. Everything else is quiet. So it almost looks like it's going around. Nepal had one with Japan, which is straight across from it, and then it went up. And then there's only little ones up in Alaska. So I am looking at maybe of something of a 5 point in Alaska, or even I'm going to kind of side with Dutch Sets, saying the West Coast could be next. It's been very quiet, and with if we go straight across from, oh boy, we're looking at the ocean. Um, we're looking at the ocean of Japan. That was interesting, though, wasn't that? Let's see. Looky there. I don't know if you guys could see it. See that ridge that this earthquake's on? And even up here, that little dot, this ridge goes up and it follows the fault line. This wasn't on the fault line, but it was on the ridge. It's centered. And then you go up, and then you see off onto the fault line. You see the one up here in Curl Islands. Let me. Well, I'm just looking at oceans. Is that okay? What do you think, Susan? We're looking at ocean today. I'm having a good time. Court went real good for me today. I think the judge likes me. I think he winked at me at one point. That's a good sign when the judge winks at you, and then he says he likes what I said, and that other people ought to be like me. I almost I almost told him that I have a granddaughter and two granddaughters that act just like me, and they drive me nuts. All right, so the earthquakes. Um, I really do think that I got people honking, and they we had a tree across the street that we had city water lines broke, and it was right under a tree across the street. So they came out this morning and they were cutting this tree down. And I'm trying to talk them into cutting our tree down because, oh boy, it's scary. It's like almost leaning on our house. So I was thinking, hey, maybe they'll cut mine down. No, they gave me a card and told me to call and get an estimate. Yeah. Okay, so um, with that, folks, so the thing that was really big in the news was Nepal was sending tremors through the region. They said Once Nepal hit, they had the 5 point, I think it was a 5.7 or 5.3, 5.7, and then I believe they had the 6.3. And then we seen the one in Japan a couple hours later. So earthquakes are striking, they say, struck in northwestern Nepal on Tuesday, sending tremors throughout the region. They said it shook and shook and shook. Well, like I said, all of these are very close to the surface. So that's probably why it was shaking. You know how thunder hits and then it kind of rumbles and you can feel your house kind of rumble a little bit? That's kind of like what these surface earthquakes do. And they rumble and they spread out. Well, several houses were damaged. They say there was no reports of any casualties as of yet. Um, they said the key highway that connected the district into neighboring areas was blocked by landslides. Um, and most of the houses were are sparsely populated in the mountains region. So there's no big buildings. These are really low to the ground. Some of them are even set into inlets in the on the side of these mountains. So they, like I said, they even said the initial one measured 5.3. Then it followed with a 5.7, followed by a 6.3. So it hit, and then it hit again larger, and then it hit really big. So, um, grapple. I looked at that and I said, grapple. What the heck's grapple? Susan, do you know what grapple is? It really. I was like, I think the weather people are just making names up at this point. I think they have names of that they're going to use for the next thing they discover, like they do the hurricanes. So, all right. So grapple fell from the sky. Let me
Check
get
out this
this
clip
set
of the
up.
map.
And uh, and so, what is grapple? Well, enjoy this one.
National Weather Service in Las Vegas. Yeah, there's some icy stuff falling out of the sky. It's not hard ice. It's kind of soft little ice pellets, all right? And what you're actually looking at here is a type of precipitation called graupel. Sometimes it's referred to as soft hail or snow pellets. I like to explain it like it has the consistency of Dippin' Dots. Anytime you see something that looks like Dippin' Dots falling out of the sky, that is definitely graupel. Okay, so here's how it forms way up in the atmosphere above our heads, where it was much cooler than it was at the surface, by the way. It was above freezing at the surface. But where it's much colder, way up above our heads, there are a bunch of snowflakes flying around. At least in this case, there were. Also, some supercooled water droplets that were in proximity to the snowflakes. And then once the supercooled water droplets make contact with those snowflakes, they start to accrete some ice on them, and it ends up as kind of this soft ice type of precipitation. Pretty cool stuff.
I think we call that hail. See? Look, even Susan's agreeing with me. Never heard of grapple. That's a new one. Soft hail. Why don't you just call it hail? Boy, I tell you, Weather Channel is pushing it. All right, so um, um, we know that little girl was found, Charlotte Sena, um, and she's back home. She's doing fine, I hope. Uh, get this, as much as I do the Justice for All and stuff, this guy was put a ransom note in their mailbox, and from it they got fingerprints. Now, didn't he? I thought smart criminals wore gloves, but it was also DNA. He licked the envelope, so I think this is going to go for world's dumbest. And then they said that she's okay. They found her in a cupboard, and then they said that he had minor injuries. I was like, oh, the cops beat him up. Yeah, it's good because she was taken from a camping place, and oh boy, I've heard of kids being taken like that, and the parents never find them. I was glad to see that she is still alive. Um, and I hope the reporters leave them alone for a while. Don't bug them, folks. Let them uh, grieve in a way. Let them calm down. Let them enjoy her being back home. And soon as everything kind of calms down, then reporters go stick your mics in their face. And of course, we're going to see court. So, but that was definitely good news. Not good news in in France. Oh, uh, France has got an epidemic. And I thought, uh-oh, here we go. Here goes another pandemic. No, it's an epidemic of bed bugs. The bed bugs are so bad, they're spreading across. Um, and they have colonies on public transportation and movie theaters, and even starting to get into restaurants as well as homes. It's like they are just consuming over there in the capital city of Paris. This outbreak, they said, is the government is urging calm, and it says it's going to work to combat this outbreak of bed bugs. Oh, um, the thing about it, they said this is just horrible because um, they're finding it on public transportation, and they're out there so easy and so many that you can actually see them. I don't know if you can see that picture. Um, um, these are things that there's so many of them that you can see them, or you notice that something's moving. They say, "Ooh, we didn't want to see that, did we?" But you know what we want to see? We we want to see these cute little red pandas. Well, at least I thought I was going to see the cute pandas. Um, so let me get them up here and get them going. Don't they look like dogs? To me, I thought we were looking at dogs for a second. And then I noticed, oh no, those are red pandas. And they are enjoying them. They say these adorable red pandas were spotted cuddling in a playful moment. And they said it's not very easy to be able to get these on film. Normally, when they get to pull their cameras out, these two decide to just go their separate ways. My dog does that. My dogs. I get the camera out and they quit. And it's like, no. Or if I have them sitting together, I grab the camera and then they move. Or they look up, or they turn around, they scratch, or they lick one another. So, all right. Onward. British police arrest a second suspect accused of cutting down that 300-year old tree. So now there's two that did the tree over there. Um, this is um, it was used, I believe, for I'm thinking Harry Potter. I could be wrong. Now, folks, don't get mad at me. Um, and they said they found out that it was actually two guys that did this. So it dates back to the Roman Empire. It was named Rome's Five Good Emperors. Um, and it's something that they have cherished all these years. And so now they said they hope the second arrest demonstrates how seriously they're taking the situation of this tree. It's like that one in Hawaii, but this one was cut. That one over there was burnt, but now it has sprouts. I don't. This isn't going to sprout. Not when you cut it. Um, but this dates back to Roman, and it was, I believe, on Harry Potter. Am I right, Karen? Do I have? I mean, do you remember? I just did that story. So, Um, this here, boy, I can't believe, when California does stuff, it just really doesn't make sense. Now they're saying that um, Catalina Island, they say it's being overrun by deer, so they're going to kill them. Won't they just move them? Why don't they catch them and move them? Why kill them? And they say they are trying to start and restore the island of people damage, animal damage, and um, they say that it's suffering because it has a fragile ecosystem. Well, what about the lakes? I mean, those were fragile ecosystem, and they went ahead and sucked them dry. I'm not sure why they're going to do this. There is 1,800 mule deer. They say destroying habitats, vegetation, causing soil erosion, and threatening other species. But the residents say the hunt is cruel. I think so too. They're not trying to kill the deer, they're trying to kill your deer. These were their deers. Why not, like I said, put them somewhere else? They could be used for hunting season, but even California is cutting back on hunting. So, wow. So, Karen, what happened? Yeah, the fender bender. What? Okay, Mary Junior. Mary's not here to hear that, but Mary was in a car accident. What, 2 weeks ago, Karen? And no copying. So whose fault was it? Yours, or were you looking at your cell phone? Yeah. So move the deer. Now, China is wanting their pandas back. Now, I kind of got a little bit upset about this, but they have been giving pandas to the United States and the UK and other places in the world for a very long time. Actually, since 1972, they gifted two pandas to the National Zoo in Washington, D.C. And it was a gesture of goodwill during Nixon's administration. And since then, the zoos across the country have been hosting giant pandas for years. But that practice is going to come to an end. These giant pandas are China's national animal. And they said with pandas dying, and they're not becoming extinct, but China feels they would take care of the pandas better than we would. So, are they going to get all their pandas back? Now, my thing is, if we had pandas here and there was baby pandas born, wouldn't that be ours? Wouldn't those be our pandas? We'd be able to keep the ones that were born in the United States. I mean, we can give them their pandas back, but we need to keep the offspring because those technically are ours. If you look at it by the law, it's kind of like when you have a mom and dad dog and you give the puppies away. Well, the puppies, you're going to keep mom and dad, but you're going to give your puppies away to other people. So, because it's not really of yours, well, they are if you keep them, but you see what I mean, though? What do you think, Karen? Ah, so it was his fault. You got his info, didn't you? I hope. Was it I hope it was his car. Karen's tough, and she probably wanted to get out and beat up the guy. Did you beat him up? Oh, wait till the next show. My boy, I got to tell you guys later. All right, so I believe that the offspring of the pandas belong to us, but they can have their pandas. So now an elk rams into the Yellowstone Ranger's car. Now, elk are just as bad and just as tough as these bison. Um, the visitor to Yellowstone National Park has captured the moment when a huge bull elk rammed right into a ranger's car. They said it took place at Mammoth Hot Springs, where the animals often gather to feed on the irrigated lawns. They said they don't like you to be very close. Let's see. Um, well, it don't have a video, but it has a picture of him. Look at that guy. See, I would rather hunt. Boy, you guys gonna hate me. I'd rather hunt elk than deer. Just more meat and bigger uh, antlers. Don't hate me, folks, for that. And I haven't, man. I don't think have ever hunted elk. I've went after deer, and I've never really got one. People around me have, and then of course they share the wealth. So let's get off of hunting. All right. So we are down to the funny post, folks. Uh, short. I've got it timed out, but I do have a pretty long news show coming up. Um, so these are, I had that funny name last week. This time it's uh, aphorism, aphorisms, aphorisms. There you go. Um, another one of them where if you do this and then you got that happening. All right, so it's not whether you win or lose, it's how you place the blame. You are not drunk if you can lie on the floor without holding on. Boy, the cops, I don't think the cops go for that. Lay on the in the middle of the street and see if you can hold on to the street. Oh yeah, I'm teasing. We have enough youth. How about a fountain of smart? Mm. The original point and click interface was a Smith and Wesson. When blondes have more fun, do they know it? 5 days a week, my body is my temple. The other two is the amusement park. Learn from your parents' mistake. Use birth control. Hey, now. Well, I had one of them sisters I could have done without. I think we all have one of those siblings that you're going, no, no. Or what about that strange cousin? You wonder how that happened. Money isn't everything, but it sure keeps the kids in touch. Don't drink and drive. You might hit a bump and spill something. I've seen one where a guy had liquor in a pan and he kept lifting up the pan and drinking out of it. And the cop went by and he was drinking out of the pan. So she pulls him over and it was alcohol. And he was drunk. She pulled him over for swerving all over the place and asked if you've been drinking. And he said, yeah. And she asked what was in the pan and smelled it. And she said, you can't drink and drive. This is open container. He said, no, it's not a liquor bottle. It's a pan. So that don't count. Oh boy. Duh. Yeah, there you go. It's not in its original bottle. It's in a pan, so it's not open container because the container is a pan. Yep, there you go. Reality is only an illusion that occurs due to the lack of alcohol. We're born naked, wet, and hungry. Then things got worse. 99% of all lawyers give the rest a bad name. Xerox and Wurlitzer will merge to produce reproductive organs. Really? I don't know how that's going to happen. Alabama state motto, at least we're not Mississippi. Artificial intelligence is no match for natural stupidity. You know why a banana is like a politician? He comes in first, he's green, then he turns yellow, then he's rotten. I think congressmen should wear uniforms, like NASCAR drivers, so we can identify their corporate sponsors. The reason politicians try hard to get reelected is that they would hate to have to make a living under the laws they've passed. Well, that's a fact, Jack. All right, folks, that's it for today. And I hope you enjoyed the show. And come on back tomorrow. We got um, um, another weather and lifestyle news, and then we have me and William for World War III. Halfway through the week almost. Get ready to. Some places are going to get the rain. We might get that grapple. We might get the Karen. You missed the grapple, I think. And they say snow. Here comes the snow. Okay, so with that, folks, we will see you tomorrow. With subscribe and hit the like button and share. Ring the bell if you're not getting notified of the shows. If you tend to, it's not, you don't see us come up. And when you come in the next time, ring the bell and you'll start getting notification. So, have a wonderful Tuesday. I had a busy one. And so come on back for the news if that's your cup of drink, not out of a pan, though. Come on back and bring your favorite drink and popcorn or snacks and watch the news. If not, uh, throw the popcorn at the TV and get mad. No, be happy. I know, Karen. I shouldn't be telling people to get mad. No, we should all be happy. Things are looking better. It's your surrounding and how you plan your day. Take a deep breath, smile, and make every day count. So we will see everyone tomorrow. If not, we'll see you in 30 minutes.